Tony, Glennie.
Hello,
How are you?
Yeah,
Good Nita, I believe.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
This is Mia.
Mia, Tony. How you doing?
The famous Mia, how are you, love?
Good, thank you.
Good.
How you doing? How you going?
How are you?
Ah,
Good.
excellent.
Nice bit of timber.
Well, we're finally here.
Yes.
That is good. That is a nice bar, isn't it?
Up this.
Arizona, right?
It looks like Arizona. Minus the big ass prickly tree. Then you get another half an hour down the road and it changes completely again.
Yeah.
So,
Doesn't take long, does it?
yeah, bloody oath.
Landscape's pretty good out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best weather today.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. At least it's called the out bed.
Yeah, well, that's about the only saving grace, but yeah. How a gale out there, wind-wise, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We're picking up.
Yeah, it's really picking up for sure. Oh, I'm glad these guys made it.
Yeah, so late.
Brad's been following you for bloody ages.
Oh, beautiful. Something really different.
Well, there's a lot of different stuff in that one.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's sick. There'll be heaps there of
Not us. Oh yeah. There's a lot of bloody different ones in this one. Mozzie nets and all in there.
Afghans. I think we're going to have a bit of fun tonight.
Oh, there we go.
We'll just be taking these now. Where are the guns?
Marbles.
And then there's another one. Oh, that's the helmets there. And
Oh yeah.
We're set.
what have we got there?
Marbles. Everything there for you.
Marble. Oh, that could be some of the ones that you've lost, Blummo.
Oh, we've got a mosquito net.
Wow. So the kids are going to be happy.
Mate, down there's cars. It's all different all the way through. There's so many different things that the boys and girls are all going to have. It's
a lucky dip. Who's going to be wrapping all these?
Mate. Hey puppies. Do we want to go for a drive in the morning? Ooh, that's good for puppies and tones. So, just had this land in my lap, and this is only about 20 minutes down the road. So we're going to check out this station, load a little bit of sheep. I think we are.
What time?
5 a.m. we're getting up.
No, we're going to be there at 5 a.m.
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
Probably won't see him. So.
You can cook breakfast for us. You can have it ready when we come back.
The beauty is here, I get to do all my reconnaissance right now. So there we go.
And then we're heading out and seeing Amy.
Yep.
We're heading out to your place, yeah?
Yep. Not at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Not at 5 o'clock. Well, we'll come back and we'll grab Flemmer and then we'll come out to your joint. And then we may be catching up with you.
We're not loaded for Saturday now, but we'll have sheep at the yard.
So I'm just going to come over here. I'm just going to come over here and meet this lovely lady. Would you like to tell everybody who you are?
I'm Trudy on the PACKSADDLE station, just down the road.
Oh, I've got to get some.
And you're originally from New Zealand?
Yep,
And you married a local?
I haven't married him, but I've been
Hasn't made that mistake.
been here 11 years, 12 years now.
Awesome. So we may catch up with you tomorrow night as well?
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow.
Awesome. Awesome. So that's you tomorrow night, Amy, and I forgot Amy's husband's name. Nick tomorrow, but you may not be there, Nick. Okay, that's all right. And then 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
It's going to be good, but there's trucks involved, so I'll probably make it happen. Out and about. Love this time in the morning. It's when everything happens. Not in the normal world, it doesn't. Good, the highway's open, so now we've just got to find where we're going. They're told to go through a bit of a floodway and then a gated area, and then we've got to turn right down a road that sounds like Cockadiddy, something like that. Pretty sure it starts with a C. So we just got to look out for roads. So apparently the airstrip's down there to the left. Yeah, if we get to Broken Hill, I think we've gone a little bit too far. Alright, that's our checkpoint. I want to see a road on our right now. With the sun just about to pop over the horizon, now is the time for a roo to jump in front of us. So, dusk and dawn. There we go. Here's one coming at you now, old mate. And this is the time that they like to get out and about and feed. So, always be wary of these buggers.
There's two.
Yeah, there's quite a few here now, isn't there?
Yeah, and they normally come in pairs.
Yeah, or 78 of them.
Yeah, and they have no road sense.
What was that?
A cutaway, I think.
Yeah, so always be wary. Yeah, dusk and dawn and through the evening.
No, that's a cutaway as well. They said
Cutaway or is it a road?
They said Coates Road. And there was no sign back there. Didn't they say something about netting?
Yeah, we went past that.
This doesn't look like a main road going in fact, because this is a truck.
Yeah, trucks don't come up here.
No.
Oh, I know, puppies. I know. I've got no idea. Alrighty, we're rolling the dice here. Looks like some sort of... Yeah. Cars do come in here. Yeah, they look like truck... Yeah, some truck tyres. So we're going to roll the dice and just see what happens. Oh, it does look a little bit more roady now, doesn't it? Yeah, this does get used a bit. What do you think, puppies? Should have bought the bloody swag. So we're inevitably going to get lost here. Alright, we've got some fences. That's a start. There's a truck down there. We're on. We're on. Yes. Roll the dice. Comes up whatever numbers you need in craps. You have to stay, little puppies. You have to stay. Unless you want to chase the cars.
Follow me, Dad. And the rule in the country is if you find a gate closed, you close it again
After you open it.
after you've opened it.
Come on. In the back. Winding down old track. Look what I see in the distance. Haha. 6:59, I think. 6:59, 6:58. One or the other. Alright, we'll just back her off a little bit because I want to keep the dust down and we don't want to annoy everyone. I don't even think they've started loading yet. Good timing. All happening here now. We're early. How you go, mate?
What about yourself, Dwyer?
Yeah, Tone.
That's me.
Alright, what are we doing here? Laying some sheep?
Yeah, I guess.
I suppose so, that's what. Oh, puppies. Top of the morning to you. Might actually get out of the way because otherwise we'll just scare the buggers and we'll be a nuisance. About 600 head of Norfolk sheep here. Running out of feed for them, so they've got to send them on. As the weather gets a little bit hotter, they actually got their food. So you don't actually have to shear these ones, which is makes it a lot easier when they're doing their 1s or 2s that they don't get fly blowers. she's all done and dusted then. 600 head.
600 off the great feed.
Took a little bit longer than what I expected, to be honest.
Dog just take a bit longer.
Yeah. It's not the dog's fault.
Nah.
Jeez, all right.
Just stubborn.
Righto. Done well, fellas. You reckon where we take it? Across the road.
Pretty warrant.
Yeah, right. How far is that from here?
700k.
All right, so just down the road slightly. Yeah, beautiful.
That would be there for dark.
Just by dark.
That's a corrugated, terrible road, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. So 700k, 12-hour drive. You bloody beauty. All right, let's give it a go. Cheers, guys. And in the outback, this is what you call a big breakfast at PACKSADDLE. Get that into ya. Oof. Where do I begin? Alrighty, out to Nundora. Yep, that's where we're going now. What are we doing out there, Flemmo?
We're going to go have a chat to a very cool person and check out one of the specialty stations out here.
That's right, yeah. Almost like the jack of all trades a little bit, isn't it?
Yep.
So yes, let's go have a look-sies. Alright, so we've been given pretty good directions with the flood map how to get here. But I'm going to take the shortcut anyway. See where the road takes us. If it actually remains a road. Looks pretty good to me, yeah. It's been used before, so it's we're half a chance here. Oh no. Nah, no one's using that. No, stay on here. Yeah, still haven't found Amy yet. Getting accustomed to these roads now. Yeah, it's very comfortable indeed. A bit soft underfoot though. Tell you what though, following this power line gives me a little bit of faith. Yeah, we'll cruise over this. Yeah, we need to go left again. Get back over that power line. That says civilization somewhere. Admittedly, could be Toowoomba, who knows? Whee! Yep, Nundora. Yep, we're here. Yeah, where's my little UH at? Got a copy, Amy? Got a copy, Amy? Junction here. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do here? Yeah, this is incorrect. So I am going to. What does that track do? So that's a shearing quarters. I'm gonna go real wide so I can get my trailer around. Alright, so we don't want the quarters, this is what we want. Beautiful. So we took the shortcut, done 17 U-turns in the area, probably saved no time at all. But we're here. G'day guys, how you going? Tone and Flemmo here from Beef It Up Australia on behalf of the Australia Horizon Foundation. We're lucky enough to be out here at Mundura. I want to say that's right.
Nundora.
Nundura, damn, so close, that mouthful, but near enough, good enough. So we're out here with the lovely Amy, with her family, and a jack of all trades.
We're on a sheep, cattle and goat station, about 185 k's north of Broken Hill. But yeah, we try to branch out into a few different things because sheep and cattle at the moment, it's just not always sustainable the way that the environment's going. Goats are turning out to be a little bit more resilient, so we've definitely branched out into that. We have that side business of contract goat mustering as well as companies that are in the family partnership. So yeah, it's just doing what we need to do to get through, basically.
Survive.
Yeah, definitely. So no, yeah, but I mean it's good. Like the goats are what got us through the last drought.
So then getting into the goats, what is the product?
So goat meat's the most eaten meat in the world. And particularly in the West, there was a large goat population. It has since dwindled a bit. But I mean that is from a lot of over buffering, but they were such a pest, they'd come in, they'd eat food, much a lot of times. But yeah, we actually go to other properties and do a bit of work.
So you've got a helicopter now?
Do, yes, my husband flies that. So yeah, and I mean that was progression. Started with the direct to a point where we needed to have something else, and then the next step up was the helicopter, and I mean that's been unreal. Like it just cuts, what a gyro can do in 3 hours, a helicopter can do in 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's about it's your time cost per one. You have that initial outlay.
Is there a coolness factor that comes into that as well?
Oh,
You can do
it might be for other people, but for us it specifically work.
Yeah, true.
But it's like if we have rain, it means that you take off and go and look.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. Like it's got all its.
So you didn't use the helicopter when you lost all the kids' toys down there?
No, I don't
that day?
I don't think that comes into being able to start the helicopter up and take off. So.
You're telling us an interesting story that a lot of the kids in the reef hadn't seen the reef.
Yeah, it was because there was that 4 years when there wasn't, a downfall at all. There were a lot of kids, and Archie, our middle son, he hadn't seen it until he was just under 12 months. And he actually sat out in front of our house in a rocker and watched the rain, and he didn't know what it was. But it's pretty common. There's a lot of kids, and even as recently as 2 weeks ago, friends of ours, they have twins, and they'd never seen puddles before. And they had big rainfall they'd had since 2009. It was the first time their 5-year-old twins had seen puddles. So
5 years.
Yeah. So I mean, things that we take for granted, you don't sort of think, oh, rain, whatever. But yeah, there's kids that were seeing it for the first time, as early as 2 weeks ago. So. Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, I don't think anything of it. I mean, I didn't grow up here, so for me, I came from a high rainfall area, so for me, it was nice to not have rainfall every day.
Where did you actually come from?
So,
Howdy.
my parents are in a place called Drought at the moment, over on the eastern coast near Coffs Harbour. I came out here to work for 6 months before I headed overseas to work, and I was dubbing for a family. I met my husband, or my now husband, Nick, at PACKSADDLE Roadhouse. Over the Gymkhana weekend, and that was 10.5 years ago.
So you never made it overseas?
No, never been overseas. I have since been overseas, but not for work. So I ended up getting married and now have 4 children. So
Oh, beautiful.
not the way I saw my life going.
Yeah. So how does it sort of work out here? You know, a bit of a difference. We're talking about the drought and that type of stuff. How does that sort of mentally go with adults, children, and schooling and relationships there?
So Emmy, our eldest, she's 6. She school of the year, and I teach her since she's finished year 1. But Emmy's been through, that was her second drought.
Yeah.
That she'd actually been through. Mentally for me, it's more making sure Nick's okay, because he's out all the time with everything. But even when he's away and I'm here with the kids, and we would do the stock feedings, like try and keep our baseline stock here. I suppose the mental side of it for us last time in particular, it was Emmy. She was waking up in the morning with large clumps of hair in her hand. I'm like, okay, no worries. And we kept an eye on it, and it didn't get better or worse. And then in the end, I took her to a doctor, got a referral to a play therapist for Emmy, which was a new thing. It hadn't sort of been done a lot. And she met with Leslie in town through the Royal Flying Doctor Service. And it turned out that what Emmy was doing was her reaction to the drought, because she was exposed to literally every aspect of it, with feeding, seeing animals die, seeing cars, everything. She saw everything. And I go to bed and we might think about bills and money and things like that. She was thinking about the drought.
Yeah.
And after 4 sessions, we actually got a rainfall, which not broke the drought, but was a massive reprieve for us. Her whole behaviour changed. She went from being erratic and anxious and drawing pictures in black, grey, and brown, things like that, to having organised play, being and green grass, and so that was her reaction to the drought. And it wasn't something that we thought of mental health for a child, because you forget how much they take in. And Emmy, she's grown up with this her whole life, so she takes everything on board, but she really was taking it on board. Yeah. And the play therapy did wonders for her, and it was quite amazing. And then her story got shared, and we had a lot of parents come to us saying they were experiencing similar issues with their kids, not necessarily their hair, but just, different behaviours that they hadn't had before. Try not to talk about it in front of your kids, but they know something's going on. They know that things aren't what they should be, and you can shield them as much as you like from it, but at the end of the day, it is their life, but you just got to make sure that they're okay. And after our experience with Emmy, we were like, okay, if we go through this again, make sure kids are okay. So
Great also that those stories inspired other people.
Yeah, well, it was not something to thought of, because there was that bit of a stigma surrounding it. You thought, oh God, are we that bad parents that we're not supposed to see, we're supposed to be impervious to death all the time. But yeah, and it was quite amazing, because that was probably the one thing that we did find a lot of parents say to us. They go, we thought we were just bad parents. So, I mean,
yeah, so it's quite.
Yeah, and it is. And I mean, country kids rural kids are incredibly different to city kids.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. I think they grow up a lot quicker because they're around a lot more adult kids, I suppose.
Amy, you're other families that read
Our story got shared up because of production things, crews, I suppose, to Sydney to do the story on Emmy. And then once they'd done the final story, it got shared. So a lot of people saw it. We have a lot to do with in the community, and we got approached saying, we didn't know this was a thing. We didn't know that kids had mental health issues. I mean, and nor did we. And I have a background in mental health and whatnot, and it never occurred to me that when a child would need a certain support, because you can see it, but they don't care. They don't know what's going on. We had because she knew exactly what was going on, and then when the story got shared and all the other families came and said, is this what's happening with our kids? And if you feel like this, I'll call to somebody at RFDS. I said, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that your child's not coping. I said, but we just did that with Imi because she did have that physical reaction, but we'd also noticed changes in her behaviour as well. She started having outbursts with her younger brother, which she'd never done. She'd always been the nurturing, caring type, and all of a sudden she just had a really short fuse, and there was huge changes in everything, in every aspect, and it just didn't. We just didn't think it was a drought. We just thought, this is just a kid going through what she's going through, yeah. And then when
she's your eldest as well. So
she is, yeah. So, and then when this story got shared and everyone saw Imi on it, everyone said, "Oh, we had no idea." And I said, "Yeah, but it's not something that we're going to comment to people about either, because our closest friends, they knew obviously, and they were amazing. But people that obviously you have something to do with it, not how you're going to open up a conversation. Now, by the way, my child got mental health and she's been training. It's not really a conversation starter. But then it turned out it was a conversation starter. Yeah. So, and I think too, it's for us, it was just such a, it's not just adults. It's, kids. Well, she was 4 when it started. She's now 6. But it was 4 when she first started. So
that's so powerful to know that. Accidentally it's happened. But that's very powerful because within the whole region.
Yeah, and there is that, and there's a large child population now throughout the Western Division. I mean, we've got 4 kids, and it's just, you just think, and we will go through that again. It's not if we will, when we will. So, and we've got things in place now for us to make sure that we check ourselves and check our kids to make sure that they're coping with it. But if we didn't have that with Imi, if we just gone, it's just something that kids go through, you sort of think, God, if we'd let it go, what would it have led through? So, and we still are in touch with the lady that Imi saw for her play therapy sessions, and she was amazing. And just one of those things that you don't think is going to touch your life, it does. And the fact that, it was a conversation starter for other families, meant a lot of things that's shared now, people know about it. They've got questions, and I mean, you still get a few negative comments, and you think, well, I don't care about your child. I did what I got right. And even if there's one kid that just, it does get help, you still think, okay, that's fine. Like, it helps someone. So, and for us, it was Imi because we had, this beautiful little girl, and then all of a sudden, angry and upset with her hair out. Just think, that's a huge behaviour jump. Like, there's something there. That's not what kids go through. So, we're thankful that was a service so close to go to a city to
community.
Yeah.
Is very tight. What actually brings me to what does community mean to you?
Well, for us, because of where we are, and I mean, we're isolated to an extent, but it also means, the people that are the closest to you, you can go to them. And it's people that aren't going to judge you. It's people that aren't going to go, well, that's not really a problem. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. For me, that's community. It's everyone's going through the same thing. Like, you're not alone. If we don't have rain next door, doesn't have rain next door, and them doesn't have rain. And I think that's what it's important. Like, you're not actually by yourself out here, because everyone's like, "Oh, you're so far from everyone." We're like, but we're not. Like,
it's a closer community.
Yeah.
Like as we've met people last night, and we do with a lot of these communities. It's 100 times more closer than a community in the city. And
it's got to be. And I think it takes a special kind of person to live out on these places as well. And I mean, I still have my moments, because this isn't what I grew up with. I still have my moments where I go, why do you do this? Yeah. Especially when you're going through drought, you just think, why? And I mean, and then you get your rain, and then you have a good season, you go, this is why we do this. And, the kids have the most amazing life out here as well. Like, the opportunities they get out here, they wouldn't have if we were in the city. It wouldn't happen. I mean, it is what it is. But this life is not for everyone, and it's certainly hard. And it is what you make it. But you've got to have those people around you too, because if you don't have your people, you're not going to be okay. So and I think that's what community is to me, and it is super important to to have those ones that you can just ring and say anything. So that's what it is.
When was this station start?
Oh God! So this station, the main homestead is, I think we worked out at 160 years old. Yeah, so it's been around. It was part of Sydney Kidman's lot. So a lot of these stations used to be a lot bigger, and then they got split up. So even I think Nunduku you were at, that actually used to be all part. Yep. They were all run together, and a lot of these places have stock watering routes through them. So when Sydney Kidman had his, I suppose his what do you want to call it, capitalisation on Australia. Yeah, so this was all part of it in the Kidman area, and then they all got broken up. But yeah, so the main homestead is 1860 when it was built. So they would have it would have been before that, because the homestead wouldn't have been built straight away. That would have been, I suppose, yeah, a few years after things were initially started here. So yeah, no, it's definitely got some history, because a lot of the main homesteads still remain as well.
Yeah, sort of. And when did the family?
So my parents-in-law, like my husband, so my husband was 7 here, and he's now 30. Yeah, they've 24, 25 years. And since they've been here, we've since purchased 2 more properties. So there's 3 properties in the family.
Yeah.
And Nick's other brothers are on the other ones with their wives and their kids. So yeah, it's definitely a family affair.
Yeah, thanks for having us today. We've
Thanks for
learned a lot.
seeing us.
It's been terrific, especially about the mental health aspect with the children. I think a lot of people will learn from that. Anyone at home as well. You know, if you've seen those signs, reach out to someone. Doesn't matter if you're 4 years old or 44 years old. So,
And it doesn't really matter if you're in the country or not, or where you are. There's an issue going on.
yeah,
And it, like I said, it's kind of fortunate that you identified it, because other families and other communities have been helped because of it.
I think one thing for me too was, you know, we had people say to us how ridiculous putting a child in therapy. And I said, I think at the end of the day, for us, it was, well, she's not yours. She either goes in and gets the help, she comes out no different at the end, but at least we tried. And, you know, if we'd listened to people and didn't take her, you know, we could have been in a very different spot today. And that's probably the main thing that I found was, it doesn't matter what people say, like everyone's always going to have an opinion.
Yeah.
And we found too, the people that were the most judgmental on it are probably the ones that have got the same issues themselves, but they don't want to address them. And yeah, because that did get said to a lot. You know, she's 45, why does she need therapy? And we said, it's not therapy the way you think it is. This is trying to sort out a kid's thoughts that doesn't know how to process them.
Tell me about your child.
Yeah. I've had a rough childhood the last 4 years. So. But it was the same, and it was the same thing. Like, we actually didn't know what went on in the sessions, because Imi had the same confidentiality as what you and I would in a session. And if she specifically wanted something said to us, she would say to the lady, "Can you tell Mum this?" And we had a halfway check with the therapist, and that. Other than that, that was all that we knew. Because it was for Imi to talk about and not have to worry about who was going to hear it or whatever. And, you know, whatever that she did, it helped, because that was, 18 months in. Yeah. And yeah, but that was probably the main thing I probably found is, you know, just to be damned with people that say to you,
Yeah.
don't get help.
You would be embraced by turning up. This time.
worries.
Work home.
Well, thanks for having us today.
No worries.
We'll let you put this baby to bed now. Or is this your job now? No? Thank you for joining us today too. Thank you. Oops. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, that was a bloody enjoyable experience, wasn't it?
A lot of fun.
Life out on the farm with the family. Don't know, Flemmo. Probably couldn't hack that, I reckon. I think she's a pretty bloody strong woman to be able to...
One powerful lady.
Yeah.
And as we were just saying before, previously, getting up 4 kids, Nick might be away. Who's got to do the feed and all that? Mum. That's a lot of work, and that's where you really take your hats off to these people and appreciate what's on the shelf.
Exactly
it all comes
right.
back to what's on the shelf. Where did it come from? There are people in the city that think milk comes from the supermarket.
It doesn't. Or your ghost.
Over it. Where does it come from? Supermarket. Well, what if you can't get it from the supermarket? I'll go to 7-Eleven. So, the other great thing here is this is Mad Max territory, Mad Max 2.
We just want to watch this sunset for just a moment, just take it all in.
I reckon we should take the sunset.
We got some awesome people here today. We got Arnie, Mia, and over the back here we got Brad. I don't know how you stuck in the table here, but you know, so creepy. You two fine people are the owners of the PACKSADDLE Roadhouse, pub, general store, the whole kit and caboodle. So tell us the story. How long have you been here for? And
Well, we've been here 18 years this year.
Yep.
Loved every minute. So many stories I would have kept sorry, but yeah, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. We just ended up here and just sort of made it at home, made it
so, man,
what it
you
is
came here
now.
18 years ago. Why'd you come here?
Right. Well, I'm now originally on a station out of Tibbo. The drought was really bad, and they did stop the place, and we needed somewhere to where's our next move. And I've always worked in hospitality. This place was up for sale, so we thought, well, let's have a crack, and we came here and we went up at Luna gas fields for a while, and and then when it did rain in 2010, he went out and did his own contract fencing stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm mixing it up a bit. Now, how long has the building actually been?
1956, PACKSADDLE's been here. There's an original PACKSADDLE hotel, which was built down, I think, in 1908. Obviously, the road was different and stuff was different back then, and when they changed the road back in 56, and someone decided we're going to just start and build a roadhouse.
Just a shed, like a shed. Yeah, right. You can see the shed like a shed frame. So yeah, that's what it's sort of is, a big shed, and they build inside it. You know, only through the years, just built. Yeah, we've done a fair bit to it.
And how much have you done as far as this? From what we it's heaps.
Yeah, still haven't stopped.
Absolutely love this whole area around here. It's a beautiful place, and inside you got so much heritage and history in general with the saddles, the hats and stuff. Is that your idea? Whose idea was that?
Yeah, sort of both of us, really.
Yeah,
Every time I'd wear one out,
Yep.
she'd stick it on the wall. Some of them mongrel that, some of them.
I was told around this area, you don't take a man's hat.
No.
Oh, right. So with the white
they
hat.
do it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
I know, but what we love is people come here and they go, wow, we didn't expect this. Probably like you guys, they think, oh, it's a roadhouse, it's going to be servo, whatever. But we are all that, but we've still kept a bit of Australia,
It's all Australian.
It's a bit of a paradise.
It is. It really is, actually. Yeah. No, did you ever bet that the road would eventually be sealed?
No, never.
No.
Now, when did that?
Only in the last couple of years it got sealed to Tibooburra.
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're finally sealing up to the border. So we're hoping Queensland will seal that last bit, which will open it up for a lot more traffic. And
Yeah. So do you want to speak to your politicians? No.
well, our politicians are great. We just hope Queensland politicians come on board and like New South Wales got the border. It's coming from there to Nakundra. Please make it happen.
So speaking of borders and that sort of stuff, it's a bit of an interesting scenario that you have here. That here we're in New South Wales time or Victorian time. 5 kilometres that way to South Australian, and then another 200k after that you're back to Victorian. So is that to cause dramas with some of the stations around here with the communication where someone like yourself being the jack of all trades?
Yeah, you don't know who's working on what.
Yeah.
So you just pick a time in the middle.
Yeah.
Go on your own just.
And hope they're there. And
I work on Queensland.
I work on Queensland time because I don't.
Oh, you work on Queensland time?
I do.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like daylight saving.
Oh, you're one of those guys. Right, But fair enough.
But they can change it as well. So you think, okay, these guys are on South Australia. You get there, no, we're on WA now.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, but
It's always been a big confusion because obviously Broken Hill, everyone out here is on Broken Hill time, which is South Australian time, but we're technically in New South Wales. So but we've all had to live with it. Everyone has that half an hour adjustment.
2 clocks. Yeah. rather than private.
Yeah, but that's right. No one really knows, so everything is half an hour.
Yeah, give it take. Yeah.
And how often do you have functions here? You've got the races.
Yeah, we've got
Happen.
PACKSADDLE Gymkhana every Easter, and we were really lucky we got that in pre-COVID stuff, and we had 1,000 people down there this year.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, like normally we'll have a lot of rallies. Yeah, Town Crisis here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we've had it's normally
It's coming back, good.
a lot of stuff going on. Last year's been pretty crazy, but we're just sort of looking forward to the good times again.
Times that are coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how long have you been here?
Oh, I don't know, 3 years.
Years. And what's your main forte, we'll say?
Jack Walker.
Oh, right. You're that guy. Yeah.
I'm that guy that'll get up there and I'll get in there and I'll get in there and I did that. And, yeah. Cool.
Yep. And you actually live here on site, don't you?
When I made it, yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. You were saying earlier, you know, especially in these remote areas, Broken Hill being a couple of hours down the road,
Yep.
just how difficult it actually is to get another hand to help you out. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you know, like the builders and all that, like they've booked out. So, and all that.
Yeah, and it's good, like for us, yeah, like, and Brad can be at times where he's really busy. But when he's here, like, and it's been great last few months, we've managed to get lots of stuff done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good having someone handy, like in the area that can do a bit of everything at once.
Because Aaron is here all the time.
Yeah.
Like for you, if someone's here to take the pressure off Aaron when you come home, it's,
I love that.
So that's sort of
Within the community, you're the
I just
hop in and help out and give everyone a
Yeah.
hand.
you're the glue, aren't
The
you?
glue. That leads me to my final question. What does community mean to you guys? Everything.
Yeah, it does. It means everything. And all of us, Brad and I, and a lot of us here will volunteer, SES, ambulance, real fire service. You know, we're the sort of people, and most people in this community are the same. We'll help anybody. We're that sort of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot, and we love it.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Well, thanks a lot for having us here. It's been
Yeah,
an absolute
thank you
pleasure.
guys.
Are you all?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, mate. And you'd love to say, if you're in the area, it's not exactly in the area, but go out of your way to come here to PACKSADDLE because it's a great experience. The accommodation's
Amazing.
spot on. Yep.
Food's amazing.
Jeez, don't get me
And the
started.
company's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And there you go. So thank you very much, Brad.
Tones.
Now,
Yeah,
Hello.
thank you.
cheers for having us.
Never, no worries.
And we'll catch you next
And
time.
Thanks, Anita.